evening, and welcome to this edition of A Walk Down Memory Lane. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me this evening is none other than OJ Pitcher. We're talking golf tonight. We're talking the Cobra Puma Junior Tournament, and we'll get into another tournament down the road. But first of all, OJ, it's one of the first times I've spoken to you publicly about uh, the passing of Brian Morris. Brian, for me, um, showed what true friendship was, what true relationship was, what true understanding of a sport was, right up until his untimely passing. Um, as you know, Brian and I had many conversations. Brian would call me, or Brian would text me, and it's hard for me to sit here and talk about this particular tournament only because it was his baby. It was
Yep.
one of his babies.
Yep.
This and the other tournament we will talk about were his underlining wanting to make sure that both got off the ground. He wanted to revive the Johnny Walker that we'll talk about later. But this Junior Cobra tournament was one of the things that he really wanted to make sure happened only because he understood when he was a junior and when you were a junior
Yep.
what was able to happen for you guys to become where you are today. So let's talk just a little bit about the man, Brian Morris. What did
Well,
he
first
mean?
off, Earl, thank you for having me.
Mhm.
Greatly appreciate this. And as you know, Brian and I, we had a very close relationship.
Mhm.
A lot of the public know. We grew. I knew of Brian, through cricket. Over the years, flats running on
That's
the field
Victoria.
in his oh yeah, Connie game
That's
running his
it.
pink and green, a nice curl bearing hand while he's running on the field
Sure,
celebrating a wicket, right?
sure,
So I
sure.
knew of him, right? And then I got to know him personally once I moved on to Ocean View work wise. I was up Pool
Mhm.
Royal after finishing the Golf Academy of America in Orlando. I was
Right.
up Pool Royal. Yeah, I got hired up there under Mr. Greg Mabry and Stevie Lambert Jr. I was up
Mhm.
there for like two and a half years and ended up on Ocean View to assist down there. So it was almost like because of the respect he had for me from a
Mhm.
cricketing perspective, right? As soon as I got down there to actually physically meet him, you know what I mean, or officially meet him, then
Right.
we just bonded from the get-go. One
Right.
time we talked about cricket, talked about golf. We had so much in common, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
yeah, it's been a difficult period, losing Brian. Got really close with his family, his wife Lori, all
Mhm.
his kids, so yeah, it's been a tough period for us at Ocean View. At Ocean View we have like that family atmosphere as far as the staff, right?
Yeah.
So tight unit, you know what I mean? And that was the head, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Of the family. So yeah, it's been rough. I mean, every time I talk about him, I got a little cracky in
Yeah.
the voice. You know what I
Sure.
mean? But yeah,
Me as
yeah,
well. Trust me.
yeah,
Me as well.
for
Me as
sure,
well.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I
So, but
mean,
yeah, it's a
what?
big miss. It's been a challenge. It really has the past few months, but it's something I'm taking on with the assistance of our staff at Ocean View. You know what I
Right.
mean? Dawan, Ebony, the entire crew. I don't want to call off names because then you forget someone, they feel
Yeah.
left out or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the entire staff, very supportive. The committee down there at Ocean View, they've been very, very supportive as well, willing to assist wherever they can. So it's, we're getting through it, and we continue to push Ocean View in the direction Brian would have, wanted it to go. So,
Mm. And I do want to extend, my sympathies to his family, to his wife, his children, and everything. Um, I did have a chance to speak periodically with his wife after some days after the funeral. Um, and it's one of those things where, because of the relationship we had, it
Right.
was hard for me to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, and she really fully, I mean, clearly by her body language, she understood
Mm-hmm.
that, hey, it's time to move on. It's time to move off from me because I was having trouble with it. But
Right.
you know, I cherish those conversations. I cherish the friendship. I cherish a lot of stuff that that helped me get through a lot of the things that I went through. You know, and in the name of Brian Morris. So
Sure. Sure.
we're here tonight to talk about that Cobra Junior tournament, one of his babies.
Yep.
Um, we are hoping that the title sponsor would show up. And we know he's a busy man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but unless he doesn't show up, we'll you know we'll continue on. But let's talk a little bit about this Cobra Puma junior tournament that's going to go on. Um, can you talk about the dates?
Yeah. The dates of the event will be July the 20th and 21st. It's a 2-day event. It's the second annual. It will be going on every year. Like you said earlier, it's something Brian started again because he knew how we came up, in the junior golf and all of that, and a lot of that had started to fade out. You had different events back then, like the actual Atlantic International Junior Golf Tournament during the summer months. Obviously, when school was out, where you had kids from all over, from the States, from down Nassau, Bahamas, from Canada, would come here and compete. You know what I mean? And in an event, like I say, during the summer against the locals, and it was great. We was playing junior golf every Saturday. It was events going on. So over the years, that had kind of dwindled out. So
Mhm.
Brian wanted to do something to get as a jump start to try to get something going with
Mhm.
with the local junior golfers, right? So anyway, he reached out and want to thank him, and like you say, has not been able to make it on with us, but Mr. Zandy Silva, there, as you say, at Island Construction is sponsoring the event again for the second year. Kilbur Puma is also on board with that. So we'd like to thank Clem Lemire, um, the rap for Kilbur Puma, who, as I'm sure you know, Earl, built an excellent relationship with Brian.
Mhm.
They had a very close personal relationship outside of the
Right.
job side of things. So we want to thank them also. The entry fee now for the kids, it's $50 a kid. Last year we had about, I think it was about 30 kids that entered, right,
Right.
overall. So it was a good start. It was a good start. They all had a great time. This year so far we have like 24, I think it is. So we want to
Right.
ask to possibly get to that number, if not better. That's the goal, obviously.
Start
But
a month ago, a month plus.
yeah, exactly. Still plenty of time. And it's been out, I would say it's been out probably for the last 2.5 to 3 weeks as far as the flyer and everything and getting it around. So I'm pretty sure we will get at least another 10 kids. Um, and I tell you, a big influence on junior golf right now up at Ocean View, right? And I have to mention her. There's a few others that's going to be assisting as well. And that's Ebony Cox. She does a
Yeah.
lot of work with the junior golfers up at
Mhm.
Ocean View. She's always got kids up there different days of the week. So, she's doing great things, right? So
Mhm.
a lot of her kids will, that those that haven't joined yet, I'm sure will join. You know what I
Right.
mean? A few others I want to mention. Go ahead.
Yeah, good, good,
Yeah,
good, good.
a few others I just want to mention as far as who's going to be assisting. Also, is Darren Lewis is going to be
Mhm.
assisting us on the day, yeah, with the event, as well as Quentin Sherlock Jr. So
Yeah.
just want to, yeah, his back
Uh,
on the island. So
yeah.
here's a great guy to have around. He really is. His Ocean View at heart. He's real passionate about it, and he's passionate about the youth.
Right. The three people you mentioned, I
Yeah,
want to actually give them all their props. Ebony, I've watched her gain, grow. I've watched her attitude towards the game change.
Mhm.
I've seen her develop over the years, and now that she's actually giving back into the teaching aspect, I think this is probably where she will greatly shine
Yeah,
behind the scenes. Because a lot of
sure.
people, see her on the course
Right.
and see
Yeah,
she's able to win and all that, but behind the scenes, getting the next Ebony, she can get the best out of them.
yeah,
When
yeah,
you talk about a person like Darren Lewis,
yeah.
uh, Darren has been a leader his entire life in sport, whether it's been on the field or off the field. Darren has, you know, he led Bermuda in the under 19s. He's played, football, cricket, the whole gamut. And I just want to make sure that I'm able to acknowledge someone like Darren
Sure.
while he's able to hear me.
Yeah,
And none other than Quentin Sherlock Jr.
yeah, yeah.
Quentin took a gamble, moved over to Ghana, decided he wanted to, a change of pace, a change of life, a change of scenery, and what he got was a reality.
Sure, sure.
And he's now helping Ghana and Bermuda join forces closer than we would have ever thought that could have ever been possible through our youth
Yeah.
and through a sport of golf. And really, I want to say to Quentin, thank you very, very much, because and although the job's not done and it's not finished, still a lot of work to be done.
Yep.
But what you started was it has been a tremendous asset to this country.
Absolutely.
And just having them around this junior tournament, I
Yep.
honestly believe that there's opportunities for people who would want something greater for the kids through sport to get involved.
Absolutely. And anytime Sherlock's on the island, is coming around, he wants to assist with any being and in any way he can. Like has been putting on clinics, you know what I mean? So yeah, so his an excellent guy to have on your team. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
All of this we just named. They couldn't ask for a better team. Really couldn't.
Honest to God.
Yes, yeah.
So let me ask you: have the defending champions re-registered?
Yep, and I was just gonna make mention of that. Yes, they have registered. The actual boys champion last year for under 11. So we obviously had different divisions, right? You had a boys under 11, then you had a boys 12 to 14 group, and then we had a boys 15 to 19.
Right.
Yeah, and then it was a girls division too, but it was only one girl that entered. Right. So she obviously took on us for that, The under 11 champion for the boys was Charlie Smith. The champion for the 12 to 14-year-old boys was Armin Newton. And then the boys champion 15 to 19 was Adam Perry. Right. And then the one girl that did enter the event was Anna Namiki. She it's a difficult name to pronounce.
Right, yes.
So there's where
yes.
Yeah, so they've entered again this year. So, but they got to defend that title, right? And to be honest, I'm not going to be biased, but I was really proud of young Charlie Smith because I actually work alongside Charlie, right? With my lessons, yeah. So, I was really proud of him. He done extremely well.
Being able to put it together over a 2-day period. Hey, sometimes it doesn't work out, but when it does work out, it's pretty to watch.
Oh yeah, and the kids, they had fun. They had a blast, man. No matter what place they finished, you can see them smiling. They had gift bags. We'll be doing the same this year. Every participant will got a gift bag, because we don't want no one feel left out, right? So we're gonna provide even like little lunch boxes for them each of theirs 2 days, so they have a little lunch that's provided. So yeah, just to keep them interested, again, and with the team that we have, it's I can't ask for more, and we're gonna make sure.
I think it was real special when Brian announced every kid's name off the tee box.
Yeah.
They would have felt special. So
absolutely. And as you know, the tournament we're gonna get into in a little bit, we do the same thing. right?
Yeah.
You know, it gives it that professional atmosphere. You know, even in all the local pro events, the major ones at least, you have the commentator there. You know, calling in, it makes you feel good. It really does.
It makes you feel like you're in a tournament,
Yeah,
a tournament that means something.
exactly,
So you got your record out for you this year, boss.
Got my work cut out, but we got that old plan there. We got that old plan. And we actually have our own little microphone and speaker that we use for like tournaments and stuff like that there. So, hey, Ocean View is stepping up. We're stepping up. So, yeah, we'll be doing that again for them because, again, they really love that. And the funny thing was, you could see, well, I personally wasn't there, right? But I did see some videos after the fact, right, of the kids, and you could see where they were nervous, like the nerves and certain.
Because hearing their name, that's the first time they would have heard the name to be introduced to hit a ball.
Absolutely.
And the fact that mom, dad, auntie, uncle, grandparents were right there. It actually added to the atmosphere. I mean, you know, off the number one tee. You know, Brian had to set up, and he had, you know, he was announcing everyone, and I happened to turn around every once in a while, and you almost see a little tear in a parent's eye that my child is in a tournament, not just we're playing around a golf. It's because they're being announced, they're being introduced, they're being, you know, and that makes it that much more special for them.
Yep, an official event, and they're allowed to have caddies. That's something else important to me. They can have, So if a parent wants to caddy for them, they're able to do so. You know, I'm sure not all of them want their parents caddying, right? Maybe a close friend or something. But
I don't want to.
But yeah, they can have caddies also. So again, it really brings that atmosphere and excitement for them, for sure.
Definitely. But actually, let's change a little bit of the focus because you also have another tournament coming up, and this is actually another one of Brian's babies, and it's the Johnny Walker. It's his seventh returning or seventh overall?
Seventh returning, Johnny Walker. Yeah, because as you know, they used to have it, then it stopped for years, and it's something that Brian brought back. And as you know, he puts so much time and energy in this event. It's definitely a big deal.
When he was thinking about it, I think about 9 years ago, he came to me. He said, "Hey, I'm bringing that Johnny Walker back. Probably take me another year or two, but I'm bringing that Johnny Walker back." And I said, "Well, so where are you going to have it?" And he says, "Ocean View."
Sure, absolutely.
I said, "Well, okay, so you're going to have 2 runs." Because he kept the format, everything came back the same.
Yep.
And you know, and he worked very hard.
He did
to ensure that tournament got back, and I'm glad it came back because it actually at the time, and I mean I've covered many sports in Bermuda. At that time, golf became a little stagnant.
Yeah.
You know, we just had the PGA Grand Slam at the time.
Yeah.
We weren't taking part in it. So golf on the island became kind of stagnant. And then here comes the Johnny Walker. Now it's a 2-day event. So guys really started playing golf again because, listen, 2 days of golf is you need stamina, you need understanding, you need, you know, your fitness, you need all of that. So when this was announced, I saw a different climate in golf and in individuals that were just hitting the ball for fun. They got involved.
Yep, absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned the fitness side of things because, as you know, that's now since Tiger. You know, that's been a big part of it. Before Tiger, you didn't really see it much, but Tiger, he set a trend, and you know, you got some guys that are really fit. You know, playing golf right now. You know, and like you say that when you're in some decent shape, obviously mentally, you know, not physically, you're good, but mentally as well. And golf is a mental game. You know, it's definitely mental, you know. So you're able to concentrate for longer periods, you know what I mean? And I go back to cricket for me personally, you know, as a batsman. I love to bat, you know what I mean? And in order to bat long, you have to be mentally strong. You really do, you know. So it does, shift over into my golf as well. You know, I find that you know, mentally, I'm pretty much, you know, I'm happy with it. Put it that
Right.
way, you know. But
I remember one of a young Tiger Woods making this comment, and I want to ask you about this in relation to cricket. Tiger said when he was, I think it was about 21, he said, I only think about my next shot as I approach the ball.
sure.
Once I hit it, no matter where it goes,
Yep.
forget about golf because I have to release myself
Yep.
and walk down that fairway to wherever I find the ball. Are you the same man in cricket?
Yeah, definitely. You have to have that time where you turn off. So, you know, you get set, bowler's coming in, okay, you're ready. You play the delivery, whatever the case may be, whatever happens. You have to have that little break mentally, you know, and just take your mind off it. And I tell you what, that one and I, right? We use a joke a lot. Everyone else were close friends. When we would get in the middle after and over, we would talk about everything outside of cricket, you know, just to try to keep your mind off, you know what I mean? Keep your mind off of it, right? And then once you get back up in, because we, you know, both experienced enough to know what we gotta do, you know. So you get in there, you relax a bit. It does help to relax you, and yeah. So that's definitely something I'm a fan of for sure.
So let me switch back now to golf. You tee off. It's not the best shot.
Yeah.
You get in the cart. Are you talking about where your ball landed, or are you trying to just
trying to focus? Trying to take the focus off of that. You know, you're trying to concentrate each shot at a time. You know, so like you say, you hit the shot. It's like, okay, that shot's done. You get in the cart. You know, I tell you what, it can be more difficult if you're playing by yourself. Now, if you're playing with others, you know what I mean? You hit the shot, you're able to, exactly. So you're able to have someone to talk to or whatever the case may be.
And even if that shot was better than yours, you have that, okay.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And they might tease you, say, I had a better shot than you, and then you have a good laugh, you know. So in a way, it still does kind of keep your mind off of it because you're having that laugh, right? So, but yeah, I'm definitely a huge fan of that, 100%.
Definitely. So you have these two tournaments coming up. You have the Cobra Puma Junior Tournament, July 20th and 21st.
Yep.
And then obviously you have the September 23rd and 24th.
Yep.
Why last year you done the same thing to me, cousin?
What was that?
You had it on my birthday.
Oh, yeah. You gonna be working them 2 days because you know we need you for that coverage, right?
I'll be around for the second day. I don't know what the first day.
All right, and that's fine. You know, that's the day you want to get anyway. If the champions, you know, coming in and stuff.
No, but I one thing. I mean, I commit to sport, so you know, and I love to see people having fun at sport. So, you know, the 23rd and 24th for the Johnny Walker, and especially July 21st, and you know, the junior one. It's really important. July 20th and 21st.
Yeah, 20th.
Really important for the country.
Yeah.
We highlight our young athletes who are aspiring to be the next OJ, the next Brian Morris, the next Nicholas Jones, the next Kamiko Smith, the next
Kamiko, absolutely. Walker De Silva, Scott Roy, you can name them, absolutely.
But they get to start. They get to start here. This one, you know, and you know, you encourage the parents to just be patient with the kid, you know, because everything's not going to work.
Absolutely,
We know that.
It can stress you out if you allow it, Earl. Definitely. It could definitely stress you this year.
That's why I only play, and I'm going to give Scott Roy a plug, I only play at the par 3 golf course.
Okay.
Because all you got to do is chip and putt. I'm not ready for your course yet, boss. I played your course some years ago, and I was totally frustrated after 5 hills. Only because I can't reach the green in one.
Right, got you covered, Al. But yeah, it'd be nice to see you come down and you know, play the course.
I mean, I eventually will. And you know, because I like to do sports now for fun.
Sure, absolutely.
Not competition.
Yep, for sure.
But who I play with is a little competition, but it's for fun. You know
right.
What I mean?
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. So absolutely. I want to thank you very much, OJ, we're gonna, as we get closer to these events, we'll get you back on.
All right.
To talk about these events because they're important. I mean, this Cobra Puma Junior one is won his championship, and unfortunately, the title sponsor, who is Island Construction, Zane De Silva, he couldn't make it this evening. But we want to make sure that he has his opportunity to be given his credit for sponsoring an event such as this.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I will make sure that you guys get another opportunity to come on and we could talk more about the registration, the numbers that you have, and obviously the tournament through the sponsorship of Island Construction.
Yep, and we'll look to try to even get the others on as well. Like I said earlier, Ebony she had job obligations, so she couldn't make it. But to have Quentin and Darren on as well, that would be great.
Yes.
And that one as well. I did forget to mention that one too. He's obviously, gonna be involved as well. Where he's been playing a good part or a good role with the job. Because I've had so much going on, obviously since Brian's passing, he's trying to relieve some of the strain as far as making sure the golf club and how things are going there are actually covered, to the best of his ability. So
that's off the door one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing, with the Johnny Walker, I just want to get this out there too, because last year we actually didn't do it. Previous years we had, but with that, first off, want to thank Boris and Lightborn, because they come on board with that event and sponsor. So I want to thank them again. And on the Friday evening, which will be the 22nd of September, we'll be having a happy hour to where they'll have some of their products there, which will obviously be Johnny Walker, free of charge, obviously, for participants who's involved in the actual tournament itself. Relax, have a good time, mingle amongst each other. It will be a brief little, opening, nothing too serious, and then we'll kick in with the event Saturday and Sunday.
Well, we'll definitely have you on before that there, and hopefully we can get the sponsors on as well. But we want to get Zane because for the youngsters and for the adults,
absolutely,
to make sure that everybody, gets the due, because it takes a whole village to run a game.
Absolutely, and one thing I could say with him has always been to help out somehow, especially with Ocean View and the youth. Man, it's great. He's committed to another tournament, which we'll also get to another time. That is agreed to come on board with. But so thanks again to him.
All right. Well, I'll say this. Are you off on Connie?
Yes. I had to take a vacation day. I took a vacation day. So, I will be off for Connie. Absolutely. Hey, Cab is that one, Earl. Hey, we got the first game. We locked out. We lost the last game last year and ended up. Hey, luck of the draw, right? So,
sure.
But I will be more willing. I'll be on the field that day.
Let me ask you. I'm gonna put you by pressure right now, and I know you're gonna watch this later.
I'm listening.
That one gonna play?
No, I can tell you. No, he ain't budging. That one,
he's not budging.
He's not budging. His finish, and I tell you,
he's not finished.
His finish. I'm telling you, Earl. His finish. I'm telling you, as his close mate, I couldn't get him come back out. A few others real close to him as well. So he's done. His loving the golf world. His loving the golf world.
So listen. Tell that one tomorrow to go to 29 minutes and 40 seconds of this.
Okay.
That one, the next time I see you playing golf and you have a putt, if it's 5 feet or less, if you miss it, you got to play cricket for a whole season.
Okay. Say no more. I will do that tomorrow when I see him, but I'll warn you, he's a very good putter. He's a very good putter. Yeah, he is.
He'll trick under me. He'll trick. As long as I'm there, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there, dude. I'm going to be there.
To witness it. All right, no problem.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. Okay.
No problem. Have a good evening.
You too. Cool.